Kawasaki Z1000, 2014 on review. An early super naked. The 2014 Kawasaki Z1000 was a ballsy move by the Japanese firm, and not just because it looks like something out of a Terminator movie. No, it's ballsy because it's rejected the current, and often expensive, fashion for electronic rider aids. Instead, it focuses on real-world riding thrills, rather than fantastic and often irrelevant, for a street super naked at least, performance figures, and because it recognizes that honed throttle response, glitch-free engine delivery and refined top-rate suspension and brakes is far more rewarding with 140 brake horsepower than anything more ever can be if that level of control isn't there. In short, if power is nothing without control, the Z1000 is the super naked that proves this best and becomes the real-world choice for anyone looking for some unfared thrills. Despite seeming underpowered alongside its competition, 140 brake horsepower really is nothing to sniff at, and there's plenty of performance there to inspire spirited riding within the parameters of the law. Ride quality and brakes. The biggest changes for this bike came with the chassis, in the form of updated, top-spec suspension and brakes. The 41mm big piston forks RZX6 are alike, but retuned with separate function. The brakes have also been enlarged by 10mm to feature 310mm pedal discs. It also featured the same monoblock radial calipers from the Z1000SX. If anything, the Z's ride, steering, braking and whole blend of practicality and entertainment are better yet. Engine. Kawasaki refined the 2014 Z1000 rather than radicalizing it. Throttle response was enhanced via a tweaked FE/ECU and revised intake funnels, while extra mid-range grunt was gained with no top-end loss through new cams and oval header link pipes. The previous bike was always a grunty smoothie anyway, but that was then made better than ever in 2014, with it easily pulling away from as little as 2500 RPM and thereon delivering progressive, glitch-free turbine drive. This is all accompanied by a lovely, acoustically enhanced induction howl indicative of performance Kawasaki's. Reliability and build quality. Being a proven lump, with quality parts, should mean reliability's not much of an issue here, while the overall standard of finish and accessories makes earlier Zs seem tawdry. The styling of this machine is far more in keeping with a 12,000 pounds plus bike rather than one starting at 10,500 pounds when new. Value versus rivals. Sure, some naked bikes are fancier and techier, such as the early KTM 1290 Super Duke R, but the Z's still cheap in a class where some, madly so, are now edging 14,000 pounds. The KTM is a prime example of this. Other Japanese rivals to consider include the Yamaha MT-10. Yep, that's right, in 2014 you could have a fabulously refined, useful, characterful and fast roadster with bang-up-to-date suspension and brakes for $9,500. Equipment. Although the basics of an alloy twin-spar frame and hefty, 1,043 cubic centimeters transverse inline 4 remain unchanged from the previous model, and there's no electronic rider aids, like some of its rivals. The suspension and brakes were top drawer. The Kawasaki Z1000 specs also include enough posh bits to satisfy the biggest accessory snob, including the clear master cylinder fluid reservoir, the radial pump lever, two-tone mirrors, new LCD display, despite lacking a gear indicator and having a baffling twin digital tacho, and more.